Yo, welcome to the first ever episode of the Glo Up podcast. Today we're here with Lil Gohan,
What's up,
Hell
everybody?
yeah.
and we
Hell
finna be
yeah.
interviewing him today, ask him a few questions, and seeing how he's doing and whatnot.
Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
to
I'm
it.
Lil Gohan, but who are you guys?
I would say, well, fam, I'm mad popular, but I'm 3K Noah, the best play. Not playing. I'm just 3K Noah. Y'all go follow my shit at underscore 3K
Yeah.
Noah.
Fuck Snowy Gone or just Snowy. I produce and make music, rap and all that.
And we part of the
Let's
Glow Road
get to it.
Collective. We part of the Glow Road Collective. So you watching this on the Glow Road official channel. So fuck with all of us. Go to our SoundCloud. Fuck with all our members. Yes, sir.
Fuck with Lil Gohan, ironing out. Let's
Yes.
get to it.
All right.
All right, so when did you start making music? How long has it been? How many years have you been into it? Want me to
So-
start?
Yeah, so it's 2021 now. Holy shit! Like when I think about it, I started making music in 2017 in the fall. It's a really fun story, like the way that I got into making music. I think so. I was just hanging out with this guy that I had known from a previous workplace, and like I just went over to hang at his house, and they had like a studio in one of the rooms, and there were a couple of people who made music. And this guy had told me he rapped before, but I knew his ass was capped. Like the specific guy that I was talking. Honestly, that nigga was ass too. When I heard his stuff, like it's fine. No,
She was trash.
it's fine though, because
He put you
regardless of
on.
how it happened, I got there and like I would just bull there. I would just smoke and hang out with the homies and shit, and play video games and shit. But like they would make music, and I would just sit there and watch intently because I thought it was really interesting. Like I've always loved music. I've always loved hip hop and shit. And then there was one day where they were gonna make this song. It was called Old News. Like that was the hook of it.
Yeah.
And they had already had at least four people on it, and I'd just been sitting there watching all these people like write, come up with a verse, spit, keep going like procedurally one after the other, and I was like, man,
You guys are ass. Let me do it.
some of them were some of them were decent, and so I wrote some shit for myself. I was like, yo, like I told my friend Durs, I was like, yo, do you think I could hop on this? Like he was the one who had made the beat and made the hook. He was like, let me see what you got. I spit the verse for him, and he was like, hell yeah. Got up in there, did that. Within the first week after that, I had 4 recorded songs with them. I thought that
Oh,
was
yeah.
really awesome. Like I was off I don't know, shit was just completely different for
Every
me
time.
at that point because like I'd finally moved into that
Realm.
space for the first time. Yeah, and it was really cool. Like just on concept, being like in a house full of dudes who are just into music, just making random shit. Although like after a time, I started to like my ideas started to get bigger faster, and like I feel like I maybe had more of a specific idea of a path that I wanted.
For real.
Yeah.
Just because like early 2018 was when I found like the plug scene. That was when I found like the Dream Thug SoundCloud and the
Yeah.
Marty McFly YouTube page.
Yes, sir.
That completely changed shit for me. And I was like, oh my God, I want to make this stuff now. And like I was
Yeah.
out here making like Migos stuff and fucking like Icy Twat rap stuff.
Some
Yeah, I was
and,
gonna
like,
ask you what
a
type
lot
of
of
genre you
different-
were making.
Yeah, like we were doing like a lot of more in that group, which was called D&D. We were making a lot of more like mainstream stuff, and then on the side I was like getting into like Icy Twat stuff for myself. Like when you see my music video Pluto or listen to my mixtape Mercury, you can see flashes of my old self. I used to go by Mastermind, so you see flashes of Mastermind in that. That's why my shit is MSM Records when you see it. But yeah, like I heard that plug shit in early 2018, and I was like, it blew my mind. And it was something completely different. It was melodic, it was beautiful.
For real?
Like when I heard like High by Kevin Kazi and shit like that, oh my God. And so at that point I kind of had to figure it out for myself because like everybody that I was around had pretty much the same vision of like we want to be like Drake and Travis Scott and Migos and shit. And I was like, nah, dude, I want to be like Lil Fly and Kevin Kazi and shit.
Right.
So I had to learn how to auto-tune for myself. Like I had to, continue finding beats that I wanted. Went from there. And Gohan was eventually born in mid 2018. My first song was on a Lincoln beat. Shout out Linky.
Yes,
Today
sir.
the day.
Oh yeah.
We just kind of went from there. It was really awesome.
So a little side question, like you said Gohan, like, so obviously like Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
You fucking with Dragon Ball. So who would you say like your favorite character from the series? You think it would be Gohan?
No, Gohan's not my favorite character from this series. Like I love Gohan in a lot of ways, but my favorite character is Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of like the anti-hero archetype, like a Shadow the Hedgehog, Falco,
Right.
fucking Vegeta. Like those are all the same
Oh,
character to me, and I love them.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
bet.
yeah.
That's fire. That's
I
cool.
bet. So you're most popular for your PluggnB sound. Like, obviously, like, when did you like? So you said you started hearing the genre in 2018 or
Mhm.
2000. When did you
Yeah.
first like make your first PluggnB song? You're like, okay, this is it. This shit's a hit. This shit smacks. I'm gonna start pushing
That's
this
a
out.
that's a really great question, and so it's definitely a ramp. Like, because even from my first mixtape, there were always plug-and-be sounds. It was more like traditional plug at first, um, and so like I was probably already through 8, 10 mixtapes before I dropped a hit for the first time. Like I had already had a song with Autumn, What You Want, produced by Goyard, that released like in May 2019. That song was like its song did well later when it got posted on the official Autumn archive, but like it didn't pop right away. I was making plenty of songs with like LJ and other people
Yes, sir.
throughout like late 18 and early 19. But the real first song that solidified me as a plug and be artist in the community was French Toast. And that came out in June 2019. I probably made it about a month prior. Um, and that was produced by Dandere. That song was really cool, but I'll be completely honest. Like when I made it, I thought it was a throwaway. I was like, this song is like a low key kind of repetitive flow. It felt simple to make, but it was catchy though. Like I would
It's
still
those
listen to it.
simple
Like
ones.
it was just a bop, like a quick bop. And like it was one of those songs where I've come to realize 50,000 plays later that it's not about doing things perfectly or doing completely original things every
For
time.
real, for real.
Sometimes you can gain a lot by completely fitting in. And I think I really did that. Like you kind of channel, like because a lot of people do this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say that I was copying because I wasn't. I was trying to fit in. Um, just kind of having that really solid flow was kind of like fatigue, kind of like DeBoss, kind of like some autumn stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like the ad-libs were hitting, the slow part at the end's clean. And Marty, like I had sent Marty a pack of songs. I was like, hey, which one do you think should be the next upload? And he was like, oh, dude, this French Toast, it's a bop. And I was like, really? Are you sure you don't want to upload this one or that one? And he was like, no, dude, it's this one. I was
For
like,
real.
"Hmm?"
You're always gonna look at like your own creations like lesser than other people gonna look at it. Like,
Yeah, that's what I learned. You're your worst critic as
oh,
an artist, as a producer. You will shit on your beats or you will shit on your own music harder
snowy,
than
snowy
anyone else will.
preaching, snowy preaching right now, bro.
And
But
sometimes
that's
you
a
just
sign.
gotta get a different perspective for things.
You're right. It's a sign of competition in yourself though, which is really good. Like when you view that about yourself, that means you're not afraid to believe that you can do better and to try to take new steps. Because like even though I think I'm amazing, sometimes I have to take a step back and be like, okay, maybe I'm amazing, but I could be better at this, or like this is almost good.
For real, for real.
This is
Always
good, but
something
it's
to
not a
improve on.
hit.
Right.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
been like that.
But that jumpstarts big ideas, that jumpstarts careers, that really just the long run kind of helps you out more than
yes,
it
sir.
hurts you.
For real.
Absolutely.
So
So,
like
yeah.
throughout the whole journey, who would you say have been your biggest inspirations up to now?
Up to now, I have a lot of big inspirations. I will always say that I was influenced more by the production and the beats than the vocal artists along the way. Um, yeah, like I'll definitely say it like that just because it like producers make genres like as much as you can talk about like what Summers and Autumn, for example, have done, Zangang did a lot
That
more at the
For
end of the
real.
day.
Yeah,
Started a bigger base that can lead to more,
yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah.
Um, but like that being said, I'll say Divine Council and Icy Twat were definitely big influences to me early on rapping. MF Doom, one of my hugest influences as a producer and
Rest in
rapper.
peace. Rest in peace for real.
yeah,
Rest in peace, Doom. Absolute goat, absolute genius. I have the mask. I've been Doom for Halloween a few times. It's really, really cool.
Damn,
yeah.
I'm a
yeah.
huge fan. Um, other than that, Mac Miller definitely.
Rest in
Tyler
peace.
the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt. People that influenced me a lot, like before I was making music, were a
Yeah.
lot of people like that. Joey Badass, Capital Steve, stuff like that. And you can see that in some of my earlier music when I try to go for that more lyrical
Yeah,
style.
yes, sir.
I don't really like attempt that too much anymore, just because the fans don't really care, and I don't really have time to do every genre at once.
Right.
But I definitely enjoy stuff like that. But then getting into the stuff that I actually make and the people who like have more directly influenced me,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
um, it's kind of, again, like not as directly about each individual artist, but about like waves and producers and beat styles and promoters. Like whatever Marty supported, I supported for a long time.
Mm.
And like he exposed me to a lot of producers, a lot of artists that I would eventually fuck with. People like, Vic Leggett, Flexo, Stacy Money, Kevin Kazi, Lil Fly, Lil Four, people like that um, were definitely at like the base of what I first wanted to make music with. Of course, like Summers and Autumn like defined PluggnB and kind of led the charge for a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, let me look at my following too. I'm actually on SoundCloud on this other thing right now. But like
Oh, yeah?
really these days I'm more influenced by the people that I'm around. Like my collaborators are
Your
more
circle.
influential to me. Yeah. Yeah. So like now that I'm in Arcadia, like those people are probably my biggest and best influences. People like Wave, Flexo again, Milanese, GP. He's really good. Otherwise known as Carl Weezer.
Oh, that okay, that's him.
Yeah. Go.
Actually, can you tell us
Oh
about Arcadia and how that came to
yeah.
be and all that?
Sure. So Arcadia is a group. It's just a collective of artists and producers that are like-minded in that we just want to make our own stuff. And even though like sometimes we slot into certain genres and sometimes we slot out, we can all come together and just bullshit about anything. In the
Right.
meantime, like it's one of those family type of
It's deeper
collectives
than the
where
music.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kind of just like the people that are there, and we just enjoy communicating in Twitter, Discord, shit like that. And
You still
like,
happen to make good music at the same
yeah,
time.
we individually all make good music and go about our days, and sometimes we come together and make great shit, and that's Arcadia.
It's
That's
awesome.
like what it really feels like. But how I got in, I was fortunate to know a few people that were already in, who were Flexo and Sora. Sora, one of my closest producers that I fucks with. Um, but we were yeah, I mean, we were just doing our thing, and then one day somebody on Twitter commented on something that I think Wave posted something, and I commented on his tweet, and then this other guy who was a fan of both of us said, "You guys need to make a song together." I was like, "Yeah, yes."
Yeah.
Because Wave again, somebody who was like influential, like the Winter Hill Clan. That's somebody that those are people that I forgot to mention for sure.
Right.
Winter Hill Clan, like so Wave, Endo, Last Class.
And thus
Uh,
far.
yeah, people like that were very influential to me as well at the beginning. Old Frank's Last Day, honestly, like that nigga was a goat. Back then, like too. Um, but yeah, like somebody tweeted basically to me and Wave that we should make a song together, and I was like, yes, please. I hit him up. I was like, yo, dude, let's do this. Like, I've been listening to your shit for a long time. And he was like, yeah, you seem alright. But Wave is one of those people who will just say okay to anything, as I've
Right.
learned. As I've learned later on, like anybody can send him a beat and he'll hop on it and he'll kill it. And like anybody who's decent, if you offer him an open and like you show it to him and it's good, he'll probably just get on it and it kind of doesn't matter. But he's that person that's just like
Likes to
very
help out the community. Just likes to just do everything.
he's
Oh yeah.
just doing music, like he's just doing it and he's just living his life every single day. Like that's kind of the
Having
spirit of
fun.
Arcadia to me is the way that he's doing it. And like I'm not saying that people don't pay him, like some people do pay to work with him, like some people don't. Like
Right.
some people he doesn't work with because he doesn't like them, and some people are too shit. But like in general, he's very positive and very nice and very helpful to the community, like I said, like you said.
Yeah.
And so we linked, we made a song, it was awesome. And then just I was just kind of pounding out songs, doing my best. Um, that song did well, and I had expressed my intentions to Sora, to Flexo, to Four, because Lil Four used to be in Arcadia as well. I had
Right.
expressed my intentions that I wanted to get into Arcadia, but I was never like asking Wave. But eventually I got invited because they knew I wanted in and I was working hard and I was doing well.
Right.
Right.
But shout out France, by the way. I have a couple songs I need to finish with him. Shout out Shy Boy. Shout out Jafar Goat from Germany.
He's fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out all the gang in Arcadia. Fuck, hold on. Let me get a couple more shout outs in before I
Oh
forget.
yeah.
Shout out Trav God. He's done artwork for me a couple times and we have a song together. Fuck. Shout out
Okay,
everybody in Arcadia. I'll probably think of more people and I'll shout you out later.
All right.
All right. So you said that you got an Arcadia, like not Arcadia, but you started working with them because of social media. How important do you think social media is for you as a artist? Like, how important is it? Does it manage your day? Like, do you manage your day around your Instagram, your Twitter, and all that, or is it
Um,
just kind of you just tweet as you go, you just post as you just live your life,
I
or do
think
you
every
really?
social medium is different. and I kind of treat them all differently.
Right.
I would say as like I consider SoundCloud to be a social medium personally,
Right.
so that's probably the one that I take the most pride and prestige in. Like I work really hard to make sure that my SoundCloud looks really good from the outside, but like me as a person, I try to work to make sure that things look good from the outside before you have any questions to ask, so that when you get the opportunity to ask questions like this, it's just
Already looks
an
pretty.
experience.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's kind of the way that I think about it in a general sense. But for me, like Twitter is kind of my throwaway platform. I don't use Twitter too much, but you can follow me at its_Lil_Gohan.
I'll go follow him right now.
Follow him.
I rarely post, but I post random shit. I mostly go on there to talk to Arcadia though.
Right.
There you go.
But Twitter's cool. It's kind of just fun bullshit and like laughs at times.
Yeah.
But sometimes it makes me mad, so I don't use it too much. Instagram is awesome for connecting with music though. Like
100%.
Instagram super changed the game. Like
100%.
I really enjoy using it, and I've
Yeah.
noticed too sometimes like artists, if you're not really sure what to do, it's still important to post on Instagram frequently, just because you will automatically gain following. Like even if you want to like make a post and delete it the next day, like make that post, delete it the next day so that your account can get those likes, those comments, those shares and shit.
Yeah.
Just because every fucking step of the way helps. If you use Instagram and your stuff is set as a personal page, set it as a business page or set it as a creator page, you get more options on the platform, and you're going to get more automatic exposure to people the same way just because of the algorithms. Those
Mhm.
are the recommendations I have for sure. Um, I definitely can say when I don't post anything on story, I get fewer plays on SoundCloud that day, usually. But it doesn't matter what I post though. I could post a random bullshit story post and people will remember that I exist and go listen to my songs.
Right.
That's what it's really about. Just make sure people remember that you exist. Like I'm not saying put out bad content, but just like, story post a couple of your friends' songs, story post a couple of things about yourself. Like if you have a new snippet,
Yeah.
go ahead and share it if you want, but just make sure you're in people's minds frequently. That's kind of the mentality that I use behind Instagram. Like I feel like most of what I do happens in DMs just because like I talk to people that I've connected with.
Mhm.
But like, it's always good when you just have a little bit of time. Also, the other thing is really important, comment on shit. Make sure
Yeah.
you please comment on your friend's shit. It helps so much to get them exposure. Like even if it's just a couple emojis, leave them. It makes a big difference to everybody.
Support everyone.
For
So
real.
so Lil Gohan, you said you've been in the PluggnB plug music game for a few years, right?
Mhm.
So you made any enemies along the way? Any
Yes.
about that?
Here comes the drama. Here comes the
Hey,
drama.
hey. Thumbnail.
Okay, so I've definitely had plenty of drama, but I'm not gonna name too many names along the way,
Right. Just keep it to a
um,
minimum.
just so that like I don't cause a lot of extra hate
Yeah.
to come to your podcast. Because like I didn't, I don't intend for any of my bullshit to come to you guys. Um,
Okay.
but there are definitely things that can cause bad things to happen. Like for one, now if my friends like hear a song that I made and they want to listen to the beat that I use, they're like, "Hey, can you send me that beat just so I can listen to it? I really like your song, but I like the beat too." No, not gonna do that
No.
because I had a very bad situation where I did that. The guy ended up uploading a song on that beat, and I asked him politely to take it down. I was like, "Hey, bro, I didn't give you that beat to use it. I let you listen to it, like because I thought we were cool." And he was like, "Oh, come on, bro. I deserve it. No." So
No,
I
it don't work like
striked
that.
the song on
They
his on
fuck him.
SoundCloud, and he striked it back. And I was like, "What the
Down.
fuck? Like, I have rights to this. I have rights to this. But certain producers have too much clout to be able to help people
Mm-hmm.
in certain situations. So even though like I could have made a case with SoundCloud, I ended up losing that song because the producer would not respond to any messages to help provide documentation that I had rights, even though I paid for that beat.
Right.
So I think that's really unfortunate because I was wronged by two people at once. Like,
Yeah, the producer and the artist.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it
unfortunate.
it is what it is on that. But I just, you know what I mean. You
Mhm.
I mean,
you take
shit,
it
you
down.
learned your lesson.
Yeah, I definitely learned my lesson. Like, I can't share certain things with people. Like, this is why the samples are on SoundCloud. I'll be like, hey, I'll link you to the samples where you can hear that beat, but I'm not
Yeah.
giving it to you.
For
Or
free.
like, I'll refer you to the artist. or I'll refer you to the producer so you can talk to them, some shit like that.
Yeah.
The only other major one. So if you guys are a fan of me, you probably know Sorry About Your Shoes, one of my favorite producers of all time. He produced Nonstop, among 20 other songs.
Mm-hmm.
His kit, like I hopped on a beat for a producer, and the beat was co-produced by Sorry About Your Shoes, so I of course said yes. Like if somebody sends me a collab beat with him, I just get on it. Like I don't really ask questions. In the same sense, when like somebody sends me like a LJ Lab, a Goyard Lab, I just get
Mhm.
on it. I don't really ask questions.
You heard that, producers? Copy
Get your
Goyard
labs.
labs.
Get your
Get your
LJ labs.
labs.
Get your shoes
Labs,
labs.
right.
Yes, sir.
Nah, bro, for real.
Your
Like
snowy labs.
go support them. Get your 30 Nick labs, get your 3K Noah labs. I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
saying, up and coming producers, like get those. Like I don't really ask a lot of questions if you collab on beats with people that I like. Get your Milanese collabs. People already do that. Everybody sends me their fucking Milanese collabs. I love it.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, so if you're a fan of me, you know Sorry About Your Shoes. I got on a collab beat of his because I said fuck it. And then as soon as the song gets posted, she sends me a DM. He's like, "Oh no, you don't fuck with that guy, do you?" I was like, "What? It's your beat. Like, what's the problem?" And he basically went on to tell me that this guy had taken his kit, like he had shared his drum kit with the dude. This guy was selling the kit back
Oh,
that he
yeah.
got for free.
No.
I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, no.
And so that ended up being really bad. Again, he ended up striking one of my songs, which is no longer on SoundCloud. I'm not gonna name names, but I don't know. Maybe you can diligently peruse and figure out that. Like, leave it in the comments if you have a guess who that was and what that was
Yeah,
about.
we'll see who then comments. We'll find out the
Because I
real
do want to,
Lil
because
Gohan fan.
I slightly do want to expose him because he did some bad shit.
Yeah,
No worries.
listen, if you want to find out who Lil Gohan's talking about, do your little research. You know what? Fuck it. I'll literally PayPal you $10 if you can name him. I swear to God,
Put a
name me on
bounty on
fucking
it. You're
not
putting
the
a
first
bounty
person,
on his
only the
head,
first
bro.
person.
Only the first person who
Only
gets
the
it
first
correct.
person, because not enough people are buying labs nowadays, bro. So only only the
It's
first
okay.
person.
I'll give you 5. He'll give you 5 if
Oh
you
yeah,
guess correctly.
Yeah.
you heard it.
I'm
If
not
somebody-
part. I'm not part of this deal, bro.
This is a fun point though. I actually did a trivia challenge on my Instagram yesterday that did really well. Like my story views were really high yesterday because I had a good idea. Pretty much it was because I have over 30 full mixtapes that have been released. And so the question was, name each producer that I have a full project with. There were 9 that you had to get. So only one person got it, and it was really fun, like talking to the people who had answers and like seeing the people who actually like really do those deep
really
dives.
invest in your music.
And then also you
Yeah.
get to see, like, because one of the answers 3K Noah was in there, right? But we don't got a full tape like that. And it's just people know that, like, I'm like you and me, we make music together. So it's like, it reminds people
Exactly.
that we exist. You know what I'm saying? And that, like you were saying earlier, that's important. So yeah.
Right. And I can have my ear to the streets, and they're basically responding to me like, who is the best pairing for me? They're giving me information, but I'm also giving something out because I offered something for free if people got it right. And so I'm gonna give this producer a placement. Like, he's a really cool guy. He had been following me for plenty of time. He's made a couple Gohan beats on YouTube, and so that's gonna be really fun. Just a nice way to give back and to do something.
For real, for real. So on the
Oh,
flip
yeah.
side of the enemies thing, who would you say were like the best people you've met in the PluggnB community that you really fuck with and like really work with and love that?
So my favorite people that I've met, like again, shout out Arcadia. Most of them are in there. Like my closest friends that I've made through music are Milanese, Flexo, Jafar, Sora, pretty much. I am like, I talk to them frequently, like every week, maybe more, and like we've worked on plenty of things. Like I feel very connected to them as far as like the various things that we've worked on and the situations that we've been through and the amount that I've seen them grow.
Right.
And like, seeing other people like have enemies and conquer them, and see other people, have situations that they've had to deal with and make it through. Like, for example, like I've known Flexo all this fucking time. This nigga records on a snowball. Like, I've had so many tech upgrades to myself that I can see like my improvement, but like I can see his improvement too without it. It's crazy. Like, and like I admire his work ethic because like he's also 2 different producer alts and his rap alt that not everybody knows about. Like,
Oh, what?
guy's a fucking goat. Like, and I'm not gonna name those names because sometimes he wants them to be secret.
Right.
But like, this man is working triple time.
That's crazy. Yeah. Really invested in his
Milanese,
music.
like, yeah, like Milanese too. Like, he's like it's so interesting how somebody with English as their second language
Mm-hmm.
can be
Much.
like as educated as native English speakers. Like Milanese and Jafar are the people that I would definitely say are like that. They like they know slang like so deeply sometimes, like Jafar in particular too, because that nigga's like 15, well, I think he's 17 now, but I think I met him when he was 15, and I was like, bro, like, why are you talking like a perfect American? Like
Yeah.
you're confusing me, like when I text you, like you're not German, right?
Yeah, like, and he hopped
Nah,
on one of
but
my beats, and I'm listening to him like, is this guy German? Like that accent, like I would have
Yeah,
never
he doesn't sound
known.
like
You know
he's
what I'm
German.
saying? I would have never
exactly.
known.
Yeah, and he's really funny, and he's like talented as shit, and like any type of beat you throw at him, he has flows. Like he has some of the most clever, like Jafar and Milanese have some of the most clever lyrics of anybody that I know. And again, they're not native English speakers; they're second language English speakers,
Right.
and they just get in their fucking bag and they figure it out. Like they think extra hard about it because they're already thinking hard to even speak in the first place. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing to me. It's so mind blowing and it impresses me a lot. Like, and I've known these guys for like a couple of years, but it just makes me think back very fondly to when I was younger and like when I first got started playing like Xbox Live. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
it used to be like a lot of us can kind of resonate with this, like people in the plug community, people in the PluggnB community, a lot of us have very niche interests, which is how we even got here. Like we like a lot of stuff very intensely, but not a lot of super wide range of stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so sometimes it's hard to connect with people deeply because the people that you connect with don't like the stuff that you like as much as you,
Yeah.
and you can't like go on about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when I was younger, I got exposed to playing video games online instead of only playing with my next door neighbor. I could play with anybody. And so
Yeah.
like shit like that, I got to meet a lot of people that were, you know, UK back then, that were German back then, that were from different states and shit like that were that's
All
just
around the world.
really awesome to me. Like I love connecting around the world. You know, same thing like Sorry About Your Shoes, Guru Shadi, from Russia and Brazil. Like these guys like have had huge impacts on my career and on my music and what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're just from anywhere. Like you don't know until you ask. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it makes me want to visit a lot of places. It makes me want to have a very open mind. Big shout out to Brazil, one of the most supportive communities ever. Like they're absolute fanatics for plug. Like
For real.
appeal
No,
to
that's
your
real.
Brazilian fans. Like if you make plug, get on a Guru Shadi beat, get on a Vilon Shadi beat, get on a Divine Glow beat, do something, like their fans will pay you back extra.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it. They're really great
Sounds
guys.
crazy and plug. They really be
Yeah.
running it
They
right
love
now.
it. They love it.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
They
Okay, so
love
you
it.
said you made a lot of albums, a lot of EPs. You've been pushing out music for a while.
Hmm.
What do you do when you have writer's block? Like, how do you manage that, or do you even get writer's block, or you just build different?
So writer's block. Okay, I'm gonna address this in two parts. First, I'm gonna talk about writer's block, and then I'm gonna talk about what I do when I can't make music, because
Mhm.
that's the more direct question that I can answer,
Okay.
related to what you're talking about. So, like writing itself is already a very like open and organic process. Like that's changed a lot in my mind since I've started making music. To me, originally writing was the beat is already here, you make up words and you make up a song, and then once you've made up a song you go in and you spit it, like,
Right.
and that made sense when I was in a studio and there were other people at the helm controlling the computer, controlling all the other stuff, and saying, okay, it's your turn to go in the booth, I'm going to hit record now, are you ready? Like, yeah, in a situation like that you want to have everything written down, you want to have practiced it a bunch of times before you can go in.
Mm-hmm.
But me as a person, I'm very individualistic. I like doing as much stuff solo as I can. As noted by the fact that I don't have too many features on most of my songs. Like I want to get the beat, do my thing, give it back most of the time.
Right. Right.
And so for me, like writing has kind of disappeared and melted away from my music making process. I don't really do it too much anymore just because it's not necessary. Like in the moment that I have time to make music, I can just sit down at the computer, open up the beat, feel my way out, freestyle enough times that I get an idea, and like do an in between freestyle writing style
Yeah.
when the freestyle doesn't completely hit the first time. Sometimes it
Mm-hmm.
does.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's the other thing is like because I focus very hard on engineering, and I kind of am at this point where I can make a lot happen with not a lot. Like, because I've engineered for plenty of other people besides myself as well. Um, I like sometimes I will really hop in the booth on a beat, freestyle for like 3 to 4 minutes over like a couple copies of the beat. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'll get a little more into that if you guys care about the recording process and shit. But
Of course, of
I'll like
course.
put like a few minutes of just extra bars out there, and then spend like an hour arranging it to be the perfect order of lines in the right place
Mhm.
with perfect slices, like cutting certain lines together and adding these transitions, doing my ghost vocals, doing the drops and all that other stuff. Like
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time arranging, and like recording itself is just like I have to make the time to sit in front of a beat and use my voice for a few minutes,
Mhm.
because
Right.
like most of the work is in my brain and like my hands and my eyes. Like the writing is no longer.
A process, like part of the process.
Yeah, like if I have a beat that's decent, like I don't have to spend time writing. I can just say stuff that sounds good,
Mhm.
No, sound
and the community doesn't really, really, really care what
Yeah.
I say. And like I appreciate them for that. They appreciate me for that. I'm not saying too much. They don't need to hear too much. But sometimes I get in my bag and I say some crazy shit, and they're like, "Oh shit," and then we keep it moving. Like,
Right,
and
right, right.
that's what it's really supposed to be. But like plug-in B itself is really, really about melody, as you know, making it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
as long
No,
as my singing is good, I'll figure it out.
for sure,
That's
for
really
sure.
how I deal with writer's block, is I'll figure it out and get better beats.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
But when I can't make music though, like it's usually a combination of a few things, like just having other shit that I need to take care of, um, or not having a lot of energy, which happens sometimes. Um, and a lot of it for me is also like social energy, because sometimes you have to spend a lot of time engaging with people online in order to get things moving or to get yourself inspired to make music. And so like sometimes if I just want to do my own thing, and like maybe I just want to play video games for a couple of days, like maybe I just want to watch
ghost.
some content that I've been missing, like yeah, like I over time I've realized that I can treat music like I treat real life, and I can just ghost whenever I need to, because that's definitely the type of person I am. Like if you don't hear from me, that doesn't mean I don't fuck with you. It just means I'm not there right now. I'll get back to you if I fuck with you. If I don't fuck with you, I've already dipped.
Right.
Yeah. Advice. Yeah. Damn. All
If
right.
you don't fuck with you, that's it. Cry
That's
about
it. Just stop, bro. Just yep. That's it.
Cry about it. You don't care.
Nah, but I'm definitely that person that will just ghost for a little while. Like if I'm not feeling it, I'll ghost for a little while, and then something will pull me back, because like I tried to quit music before. I didn't like make a public thing about like, hey guys, I'm quitting. Like
Right.
I don't want people to cry for me. I don't want that, because like I don't want people to think it's over either. I would want people to guess whether or not it's over
Right.
and ask a
Yeah.
lot of questions. And like anyway, I tried to quit and I didn't want to. Like I enjoy making music, even if I didn't enjoy some of the things about the community, some of the things about the way I was progressing. Every day I could see my SoundCloud followers going up, my Instagram followers going up, my plays going up. With me
Yeah.
not there, I was gone. You hit me up while I was gone, Noah. Like I was disappeared as fuck. And then
Yeah.
like, but as it was, like the world was just calling my name.
Yeah,
I came
I
yeah.
had
back.
to come back to it.
He came back like Jesus.
And it wasn't that serious, but like that's the kind of thing that makes me want to tell everybody, like if you're not feeling it, take some time for yourself,
Find
because like
yourself.
because you will feel it again if it's in you, and if you don't feel it, don't worry about it. You've made what
Mhm.
you've made, and you've created what you've created.
Yeah.
Accomplish what you accomplished.
And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
some people try to force it, like, oh, I need to make music because I want to do this. But like, do you really
If it's
want
not
to
in
make
you, it's
music?
not in
If it's
you.
not genuine, then just don't do it. And if you really
Literally.
want to test that, like you said, leave for a bit and see if it's really calling back to you. Like, do I really want to keep making music? And if it does, get
Then
back
go
to
back to
it.
it.
Get back, and you'll come back even better and stronger.
Oh
So
yeah.
for real.
Yes, sir. That's how I feel right now too, because I feel like I was at this point where I was just spinning my wheels. Like a lot of 2020, I was just like, damn, I need to try to make another hit. Like because I had a lot of songs that I felt like were hits in 2019, and I spent a lot of 2020 in this mindset of I like
You
I
make it.
don't like I need to make another hit, and I need to continue dropping tapes like it's 2019.
Yeah.
Like I needed to, like, because the first half of 2019 I was dropping a lot of tapes, and the second half I was dropping a lot of hits. That's how it felt, and I was like, I need to do both of these right now, and I was just doing too much
Yeah,
and not getting the results that I wanted on either. Like I was making good music, but I was still stressing myself out
Right.
about shit that I didn't need to.
right.
And so like that's why you see me right now. Like I dropped What Makes You Think like 18 days ago. I'm looking at it right now.
Mhm.
18 days ago. But I'm really happy with that song.
Yeah.
And so I'm not rushing to drop anything. Like I like making music, and so like on my free time I make stuff, and when people buy things I make stuff. But like the beat is gonna tell me when it's time. The song is gonna tell me when it's time to drop because I can't hold it anymore. And like really the songs that I like the most are usually the songs that I nut out in a day. Like I hear the beat, I'm like, oh my god. I make the song right away and then I post it immediately. Like Iron
Yeah.
It Out, that was one of those songs. I was like, I need this right now. I saw it on your post. I was like, send me, please, please. Let's go.
Yeah.
I need it.
Like
I
SpongeBob in
need
that one
it.
episode, yes sir.
I need it. Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That's really how it be though. And so that's the other thing that I can say, like trust your instincts when you know a song is fire, like
Yeah.
trust that song and push it.
For
Also,
real.
one of those things like, well, I also rap a little bit too, but it's not really about me. But sometimes, like, I feel like, you just kind of sometimes I be forcing it on beats.
Mhm.
Like, I know the
Yeah.
beat is good, but it's just not what I'm looking for at the most on my vibe. But just
Mhm.
because the beat is like just on a genuine like on a general basis good, I try to force myself on the beat. Do you ever do that as well, or do you just
I've
kind
had that situation before, and that's something that I run into frequently, just because like as an artist that has a lot of songs, people expect that you can hop on any beat after a certain point. And like, to yourself, once you've made enough songs, you expect that you can hop on beats after a certain point
Mhm.
as well. And so you can sometimes get into the situation where you're like, excuse me, where you're like not feeling it, but you're like, why can't I do this? I should be able to do this.
Right.
That's not the point. The point is, what should you be doing? Like, I've had to get that out of my head, just because a lot of times I try to commit to getting on a certain beat for people. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get on this one for you the next time that I get to studio. Like next time that I record, I'm gonna get on this one. Like I tell people that, but then I get there and that's not the shit that I'm humming as I walk to the studio. Like I
Right.
just heard some shit on YouTube, I just heard some shit on Instagram, then I'm just like, that shit's a bop. But I guess I'm gonna go make this song. No, don't do that
Right.
to yourself. Make the shit that you want to make because it's gonna sound better.
make
Like
them
yeah, like unless somebody paid you to do it, in
Yeah.
that case it's work. But if they didn't pay you to do it, like make the shit that feels good in the moment, and put
Mhm.
the other beat like don't feel bad just deleting that beat or muting that beat and adding another one into your DAW, and just keep moving. Like because like if you make another good song on a different beat, you're gonna thank yourself for switching.
Right.
It's
Right.
like when you start like if somebody starts college and like the first semester their major class is ass, they're like, you know what, I don't think this major is it. Let me just.
Switch over.
Or do
There
you
you go.
spend 2-3 years and then realize you can't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
and then potentially graduate from it, and then end up with a life, with a career, with a diploma that you don't
bullshit.
even want. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to make them choices.
It
So I
was
mean,
Sure.
like,
in uni. Did you ever attend any of that, or you're attending it right now, or what's happening with that school life?
So I have attended some college. It's not for me right now.
Yeah.
So I respectfully have withdrawn. But I
yeah,
will finish college when the right opportunity presents it, just
of
because I
course.
genuinely enjoy learning. But I guess the kind of perspective that I have on that, when I was growing up, I was very, yeah, and I guess like a lot of people ask me about my age. I'm not going to disclose that. All I'm going to say is that I am at least 18, and I have at least,
That's for the bitches to hear. You know what I'm saying?
yes, yes, bro. I'm not joking.
Hey, all the girls hit Lil Gohan. He plays nice, bro. Stop.
I'm at least 18, and I have at least been to college,
Hmm,
but I have left since then.
right.
Um, but
Ghost.
but yeah, like when I was growing up, I was very like STEM kid, which for those of you who don't know stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I was a very like STEM focused kind of kid, and so they were like, yeah, you should do software engineering or computer engineering, and I was like, okay, that sounds like things, and like I like computers, but like I don't want to be a programmer, as I learned very quickly. And so like I wanted to pivot to something else, but then that pivot didn't really work out either. Like I was just kind of taking classes, but the only things that interested me were the things that were non-STEM, like the stuff that I wasn't supposed to quote unquote traditionally be good at.
Right.
When I would take like theater arts and cinema studies and psychology and sociology and shit like that, that really excited my brain in a way that I hadn't been excited for years, because at the college level, they can talk about stuff differently than they can talk about at a high school level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they expect you to be intelligent, whereas high school, they expect you
think
to be dumb, and they
Right.
just try to make sure you make it.
Mm.
Um, so I like college itself is something that I will enjoy when I have time, but I needed to experience life instead at first. At least for right now, I'm enjoying experiencing life without it. But
Yeah.
there may come some point where like maybe I want to pivot, and like something that I've thought about genuinely is trying to be like an esports broadcaster. But I probably need a communications degree. So like I might get it at some point. But you know, if I had an opportunity, like a really clean, solid opportunity to go to school for music right now, I would do it, because that's what I enjoy right now.
Mm.
Things will change as my life goes on, and I'm open to how those changes are going to affect my changes in plans for that in particular.
There's a lot of like in the society. There's a lot of like, you know, oh, after high school you got to go to college. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to university, and it's like, yeah, you can go,
You don't need
and
it.
you don't even need like at the end of the day, you can also not go and choose to go later. Like it always feels like the community is rushing you to like follow like the status quo. High school, university, or college, get to work, find a house, live with a family, and then that's it. Die like that. Like that's how boring. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, dude.
live your
This,
life.
this is
You
how
have
I feel
time.
about college. If you want to be a doctor, like I'm not gonna, you know, what I'm saying this guy who learned how to be a heart surgeon off YouTube to, you know, what I'm saying do a surgery. Fuck that. Like I'm not risking my life, but like for certain things, like doctor or whatever, engineer, I feel like college should be mandatory.
Right.
But music, communications, like sociology, psychology, all that shit, you can probably learn just as much on the internet.
Mhm.
You can teach yourself that shit. You don't need college for that.
It's
You
just
can
the,
create your own.
what
job with
college
that.
university does for you is gives you this the certification for
Yeah, you
the
don't
They
for
need
the
give you
jobs.
certifications, and they give you structure too, like, and some amount of discipline and work ethic. Like, just because to complete a degree, like, it does take a lot of effort, like more effort than working a job. So, um, that's something that I'll definitely say. Like, it's a lot harder to go to school than to work. So it's kind of like when you get the review, that's harder than the test.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
Getting back
Oh
into
yeah.
music here, what advice would you give to like new upcoming artists trying to make it in the underground community?
Trying to make it in the underground community, in the community that we're in, there's a few things that I would recommend to people. The first thing, always try to be positive with as many people as you can. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to be nice to everybody. That doesn't mean that you need to support everybody or be disingenuous with people. Like, don't lie to people, but try to try to withhold your constructive criticism unless you're asked for it. Just because, like, I'm one of those people who's I'm a very feedback oriented person. I'm like a corrector and things like that.
Mm.
So like I've run into a lot of situations where I'm trying to appreciate someone and help them get better, and it didn't come across as that. It sounded like me telling them that they were bad. So like I
Right.
just kind of I just kind of usually stick to what I can. Like if you hear a beat on YouTube and it's by somebody that you support, and like the mel is sick, but the drums are kind of whack and it's mixed kind of whack, just say that you like the melody and keep it moving.
Right.
Like that's a way that people can be positive. That I really like. That's something that I'm implementing for myself. That is important. Support your friends, like we were saying. Like comment on stuff. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take that long. It
It's
helps
free.
the algorithms, and it helps again people see your name on their shit. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying spam, but again, being supportive helps you too.
Intertwine the community together. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
They
right.
discover Lil
If you
Gohan, they discover 3K Noah type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Right. And if people like if people have similar mentalities to me, like I think a lot about like the web or like the network that I want to be part of. And even if like for example, you can't work with one particular person that you want to because they don't fuck with you, or because they I don't know, think they're above you, or you don't have enough money to work with them or whatever, you can still comfortably slot into decent places around them, not to steal their following, but to appreciate the scene that they're in. Like if somebody didn't fuck with me, but they wanted to get on 3K Noah beats and Lincoln Beats and Philly 808 Beats and stuff. Like they can
Yeah.
enjoy being mini me if they want.
Clones,
Like
clones.
if they want,
Hey,
if they want to rap like me.
but
But at the same time, you can also like if you in your heart have your own song, like if you are making original music, it doesn't matter if you have the same beat selection as somebody else. Um, like yeah, there are plenty of people who have very similar beat selection to me, but sing differently, so I don't have any issues, and they
Right.
don't have any issues. You know what I'm saying? Like as the whole ladder goes up above and below me, that kind of
Right.
stuff is always going to be present. But think consciously about where you're slotting yourself in the community with the moves that you make. Like I intentionally dropped a whole Slayer tape with only Slayer beats to clearly communicate to the community that I can make those songs. I could have had a more diverse producer list that would have less clearly communicated what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like what if I had M20 and Arena and Boost and this and that? Like okay,
yeah.
like these are all quote unquote hard producers, but like no, they're all Slayer songs. Like
Yeah.
that's more clear. So like just that's just me being conscious about the way that I present myself. Um, Positivity, support, present yourself well, connect with your producers. Connect with your producers. Your producers, if you're a vocal artist, you have to give everything that you can to your producers. Like do what you can to make their lives easy and to make them happy because I don't know. Just do that because they're the ones that are responsible for you being able to make good songs in the first place. Like
100%.
Shout out
unless you're producing
producers.
your own beats. Unless you're producing your own beats, be
And be
nice to
nice
your
to yourself.
producers. Like do as much as you can for them because they're good to you.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Like the people that you reached out to first, the people who inspired you when you heard things like, that's really awesome. And then like you keep going from there. And like that doesn't there's always gonna be those producers who like have enough people in their DMs that they don't care about all the shit like and that's completely fine.
Mm.
Um, you also kind of have to measure yourself. You know what I mean? Like if you're very, very first starting out and you hop on like level beats, like he's not gonna notice.
Yeah.
And so like I legitimately recommend that you work with producers that are not
Smaller.
closer. Like work with producers that can notice you when you get on their songs.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
but that requires you listening to enough beats to know who can make what. Because like for example, if you're new and you just really love listening to level beats, and like that's the reason you want to make music, is like get on those beats. Like they're super popular and they're good, and some people will find them for that reason. But also you should invest some time in listening to the other people who make similar style beats to see if anybody else can actually fuck with you
Mm.
and help you out and give you those beats.
Right. I
Are
got
there
you.
any up and coming new rappers or producers that you want to work with that you already like haven't already worked with?
That's a really good question. I have a lot of songs with a lot of people. Like I rapped on over 100 different producers' beats last year, so I got one in with as many people as I could. The main people that I'm lacking on that I can remember right now, um, No Friends 007,
Mm.
Fuck Nismo. Those guys have semi beats. They're really good plug producers that I haven't got on their beats yet.
They're fire.
Um, Let me see. I have a lot of stuff in the works with my existing homies. I need to get a song in with GP. He's in Arcadia with me.
Shout out.
I have a couple songs with France in the works. You're probably gonna hear those next month. France is in Arcadia with me too. He's one of the super OGs that like I was listening to in 2018. I was like, this guy's a goat. Um, Let me see. Trying to think of who else I've. Oh, Lossy. I'm trying to work with Lossy. I was DMing
Yep.
him
Definitely do that.
recently.
Definitely do that.
Oh, Steezy Kai. I don't have a song with Steezy
Oh
Kai
yeah.
yet, but I've known that guy for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Thule, if you've heard of Thule, Walking Heart, he used to make a lot of songs on Benji Cole beats. I was fucking with him last year, but like I would just listen to his stuff. Like I was just like whatever. But I finally hit him up a few days ago. We're gonna make a song.
Bet.
Oh yeah.
That's just a few people. I want to make a song with Spenda KZ. I want to make a song with Spenda KZ. He works with Lil PayPal a lot.
Mhm.
That nigga crazy fire though. I don't
Jeez.
know. I really do want to try to fly out to Portland and link with PayPal though when I get a
Mhm.
chance. That nigga's really cool. He's really fun
Videos and
to talk to,
Mhm.
and like he's a super OG from way back
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah.
As far as producers though, let me see. I have some songs in the work with Cactus. That's just I know I showed Noah some of those songs.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
but other people like I'm looking out for that I haven't worked with yet. There's NWO music group run
Mhm.
by Marty McFly of Health Pack, And
Yes,
so
sir.
he has like a bunch of producers under his belt that he's trying to promote. So there's like I'm trying to think of some of them. I know Goldsmister is one of them that I'm trying to hop on his shit soon. Um, damn, there's like a lot of people in that group, but definitely go fuck with NWO.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You'll probably see me on that page pretty soon.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, mostly just the people that I've already worked with though, like Goyard, Lincoln, Noah,
Yes, sir.
fucking Phil 808, 30 Nick, Sorry About Your Shoes, Cloud Boy. Oh, Axe Jr. Okay,
Oh
I have
yeah.
one song with him.
Yeah.
That nigga is like one of my favorite producers
He
that I've
is.
ever fucking listened to.
Mm-mm.
He's like a genius.
He
That
is.
nigga's crazy. Like I don't even know what happened. Like I was just
Oh
listening to some
my.
stuff one day and I heard what was that Vontae song? There's a Vontae song that he produced. I think it's called Hit 'Em. I heard that song and like my brain exploded. And so I was a fan already, and then I ended up starting to work with his cousin, which is Galaxy.
Oh
And so
wait,
that's how
Galaxy
I ended
and
up.
they cousins?
Cousins?
Yes, Galaxy and Axe Jr. are cousins.
Oh my! I didn't even know
You
that.
exposing them right now.
Yeah, I
You
don't know
exposing the
what
family tree.
I don't know what European country they're from, but I know they're Western
Um,
European.
Galaxy was talking about that the other day. Ah, because I was in VC with him. Ah, I actually forget. I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that.
Yeah, but they're both really
Mm.
cool guys. They're both really good artists. Galaxy is like really good at R&B. Axe Jr.'s amazing at PluggnB. He likes to do a lot of other genres. He likes to do like a lot of Detroit beats and other stuff.
Yeah.
But like, but as a PluggnB stand myself, Axe Jr. is a fucking genius, absolute goat.
Mm.
And I have a couple of songs that are gonna come out with him soon, as soon as I make them.
I want to say
But I have
Norway.
those.
I think they're from Norway. I think it's either that or Finland. It's one of the two. I was
Solana?
with Galaxy the other day. He was telling me that because I'm like, why? Because I thought Galaxy was like, because I assume like a lot of people are just American or Canadian, like just. But then like you never know. People are from
That's
like
how we're
Red,
ignorant. We're so
like
ignorant as
like Red,
Americans.
Really?
Red Splash. Red Splash is from Greece,
Yeah, yeah, I actually did know
right?
that.
Like I didn't
'cause-
even know that. Like and he told me that the other day. I'm just like, what? Like I thought you were like
And I
like,
would have been surprised too, because again, he's younger. He's like 14 or 15,
mm,
and so like he has very good like slang understanding
oh yeah,
and can talk like an American in a lot of ways. And like I would talk to him about like PC stuff, and I was like, I just expect people who like have access to this kind of technology are here.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
No, yeah. That's the thing. Like on God, like North Americans, like as much as we like to believe that we're like the best little continent and everything
Mm,
happens here,
mm-mm.
like there's so much more outside of these little walls that we have around us. There's
So
so
many
much more
artists,
content,
and it's
much
like.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure, like the core of our PluggnB community and like the underground community, a lot of it's from the States. But when you really think about it, there's like a lot of people from different countries all across the world that are really doing
Going
their thing.
crazy right now.
And it's
right.
like,
And this is why I brought up like the producers too. Like since I feel like I have producers in every single country, there are definitely rappers around those producers.
Mhm.
Every
yeah.
single place. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't hear all of them because not all of
We
them
don't-
are good or easy to market to us, but they are there. And so, you never know where they're gonna come from.
For real, for real.
These be coming out.
But at
I-
the same time, this is why I'm really glad that like Sahan, or I'm pretty sure in French it's pronounced Sahan, but most people call him Saran in English. I'm really glad that he's been blowing up as big as he has recently. I'm partially glad just because he took Milanese with him
Right.
to the top. Like that shit has made me so proud and so excited. Like
Mm.
whenever he like told me about the song L'Oublié, he was like, "Bro, Sahan hopped on my beat." I was like, "Who?" He's like,
Yeah.
he's French, but trust me, he's like the biggest person in Europe. This shit's about to happen right now. Like I'm going to the top. I was like, okay, good luck.
That's the thing, right? Like we
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
know a lot of these people in other countries, but to them it's like a big deal, right? But to us, we're like, huh. And then you really see those people and you really explore
You
these
just
different.
see the fan base,
Yeah.
like base behind these artists and
Mhm,
producers. You're like,
mhm.
damn,
Yeah,
this is real.
and then like within a matter of months after that, he has songs with Texaco, Tony
Mm.
Snow, Zaman Shoddy, fucking Cash Dami. He has a video with Cash Dami, like
Oh my.
why ho reparations, spend 5 band. Shout out the nation. Shout out Cash Dami. Shout out Milanese for that song.
Fire.
Shout out everyone.
Wow.
Let me
Fun.
get one last little question in for the interview.
For
Just
sure.
a little funny question. What's your favorite anime and why?
My favorite anime is Death Note because I feel like I
Yeah.
identify as both of the main characters, Light and L.
Oh,
Hey,
Death
hey.
Note. Oh yeah.
It's
Alright.
so fun to watch. It's so intricate and
The
entertaining.
writing in that show is just the writing in that show literally blows my mind. Like the fact that a human being can create that show. It's actually.
I gotta watch that. I read a bit of the manga when I was earlier, but I
you
never
didn't
finished
finish
it.
it?
I know I never finished it, bro.
I'm
Because
about
I was
to leave
getting
it
it from I was
all.
getting it, bro. I was getting it from the library, and I just they never had the rest of the series.
Dude,
What's
but
up?
yeah, it's pretty short
Yeah, I'm
on
probably
Netflix.
gonna have to
It's
go
26
soon, but yeah.
episodes, I think.
Yeah, just 26 episode little series. Watch
Yeah,
it.
I should do that. I should do
I
that.
I guess I'll
Yeah,
just
but
wrap up the Glow Up podcast.
Yes,
Lil
sir.
Gohan.
First episode.
Everyone, make sure you go listen to Iron Out. Listen to all of Lil Gohan's music right now. Go on his SoundCloud. We're gonna link it in the bio. We're gonna link all this shit in the bio. His Instagram, his Twitter, his
Mhm.
SoundCloud, all that shit. Check it out because this shit's fire. He's up and coming.
Talking
And he's
about
just
Iron
super
Out, I'm gonna go and switch it over to that. We're gonna go listen to Iron Out, prod by me and 30 Nick. Let's go listen to that right now.
Hell yeah.
I think about you all the time and you're away from me. How did I get you in my life? It's like you're made for me. And I would never ever lie to you, baby. I do this shit without trying, it's so crazy. Even if we ain't trying, we ain't evading the quiet. Girl, what you crying about? Got something to iron out. Girl, what you crying about? Girl, we should iron it out.
Lil Gohan freestyling on the
Yeah,
lyrics right there,
shit
but
is
that's the
fire.
song. It's good. Produced by me and 30
Damn,
Nick.
I love
Go
that
check
song.
that out right now. Good song. Good
Song.
song.
Caught me in the middle.
I'll be in work right now, putting that shit on repeat at work, bro. Moving some goddamn
Yes,
fridges.
sir. All right, we're finna wrap
Get
it
it.
up. That was the first
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
of the Glo Up podcast, the Glo Up podcast. Make
Yeah.
sure to tune in. We're gonna be posting more interviews with more of your
More to
favorite
come.
underground artists. So stay posted, and thanks for watching. See y'all in the
Thanks
next
Fuck with our
interview.
shit.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.